No more Shama.
What is up, ladies and gents? It's your boy Jermaine Event, main on MMA, and today, ladies and gents, we're checking out a video from the GOAT, ITP, ladies and gents. We're checking out a video from ITP MMA Live, and it's about your boy, not my boy, Conor McGregor, not my boy. He was at the White House the other day. He's talking about becoming the president. I feel like somebody was going to ask him about his civil suit, and he fucking brushed that question off. All right, he brushed it off like it was nothing. Get that question out of here. You have a great day. Which, no, you got to answer for these things, man. There's it's too many times, too many occasions. But let's see what ITP has to say about your boy, Conor McGregor, at the White House and all the shenanigans that ensued.
Happy Paddy's Day, America!
Alright, so Conor McGregor took a field trip to Washington D.C. yesterday, and hey, even though none of this makes sense to me, I would be absolutely lying if I said that this little side quest that he's on isn't super entertaining to watch. Weird. And apart from being a co-owner of the BKFC, he's also been steadily growing momentum for his own foray into Irish politics.
Every available metric available to us has shown that the government of Ireland currently has failed the people of Ireland. In 10 years, Dublin city centre has gone from one of the most safest cities in Europe to one of the most dangerous. So shame on him for saying that, speaking down on an Irish man.
Honestly, I do think that his White House appearance here has a lot to do with him potentially running for president of Ireland in 2025, which would be insane if he ends up doing it. I mean, at first, I kind of figured that he thought visiting the White House located in the District of Columbia was going to be an entirely different sort of trip, but I guess not. And besides presumably looking for any leftover cocaine Hunter Biden left lying around, McGregor took this opportunity to tell the world about the issues that the people of Ireland are facing. And yeah, I'll be talking about all this and more throughout this video, but don't worry, I am not a political person in the slightest, so you're not going to hear any political opinions out of me. I'm just here to enjoy the circus. Shockingly, the White House allowed him to answer some questions while he was at the press podium, which I have no idea why this was allowed to happen.
Hey, Conor.
Oh. Hey!
Hey, Hey, Conor, first of all, did you get into some time with President Trump? And also, I know there's some Irish immigrants in the U.S. without status. What do you think should happen to them?
The Irish immigrants?
There's some Irish immigrants, some recent Irish immigrants without status.
Are we taking questions?
Taking over the podium.
Ireland and America, we are
This is insane. I didn't watch this.
We consider America our big sibling. So
this man's doing a press conference at the White House.
Be a peaceful, happy, prosperous.
What is going on right now? Is this real life? Conor McGregor is on C-SPAN doing a press conference from the White House? This is real life. This is crazy.
Prosperous country for the 40 million Irish Americans to have a place to visit, to come back to their home. So we wish for our relationship with the United States to continue, and we wish to be taken care of by the big bro.
It's all WWE. It's been WWE the whole time.
Now, some takeaways from this clip is that it's pretty obvious that the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, didn't expect and probably didn't even want him to answer any questions from the media. Like, this was clearly just supposed to be a photo op between her and Conor, but in true McGregor fashion, the guy went rogue and pulled his own White House press conference event out of his ass. Just look at Leavitt trying to step in front of him when the reporters start to ask questions, just to back out of the way once he starts responding. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I can spot an unmistakable look of nervousness from Leavitt as he starts talking about how the United States is Ireland's big bro and how they need to take care of their little bro. This dude seriously just little broed his own country in front of the press. Also, can I just add that Caroline Leavitt better be careful about being alone with Conor because she seems to be his type, I'm just saying.
The U.S. and the EU, and I think.
Crazy. Crazy. I can't rock with
it. We actually have some stuff that we have to do right now.
I will say, Conor is here to meet with the president. He'll be meeting with him later this afternoon.
Let me tell you, the visceral cringe that ran through my body when I watched this part for the first time. First of all, in Conor's defense, I feel like the question that he was asked about trade disputes really should not have been asked. It definitely feels like the reporter was intentionally trying to give him a question that would make him look bad no matter his response. And even though Leavitt really should have stepped in to put a stop to things before he was able to respond, the long pause into McGregor outright saying "we wish exemption" only for her to immediately jump in to cut him off is fucking gold.
We wish exemption.
Hey, we actually have some stuff that we have to do.
Does this not feel like it was ripped straight out of The Office to anybody else? Honestly, only Conor McGregor could have the level of delusional hubris to hijack a White House press conference so that he can make impromptu international trade requests from the president of the United States.
Crazy.
And then you have McGregor backing away from the podium when he realizes that he said something that they didn't like, and the sheepish look on his face is fucking priceless. But the thing is, I can't even blame him all that much for this. Like, yes, he probably should have thought out his answers a little bit better given the circumstances, but this guy is one of the loosest cannons walking the face of the earth right now. Also, the press are the press and are going to ask whatever they need to in order to get their next clickbait headline. That's to be expected. But there's no way that the White House employees didn't already know about Conor's reputation both in and out of the ring, so they really should have kept a shorter leash on the guy. And after Levitt pulls out one of the most PR-trained responses that I've ever heard in my life, Conor jumps back in to discuss the issue of mass immigration into Ireland, which seems to be the main talking point of his political platform.
The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit.
Obviously, this is a big political issue that's affecting both the United States as well as Western Europe. Regardless, watching McGregor stand on the global stage and
honestly, when his argument here, what he's saying, what I'm hearing, it sounds kind of racist. He's coked out of his mind and he can't articulate it, and I'm just guessing what I think he's trying to say is that with the immigration in Ireland, neighborhoods that were majority white have become filled with minorities. And pretty soon, 40 million Irish Americans won't have an Ireland to come home to. Interesting statements he's making here. I'm just guessing. I could be wrong. Let me know.
Talk politics feels like a damn fever dream. In the hours following, photos started dropping of Conor hanging out around the White House, and this one is probably my favorite because of the goofy look on his face. There's this photo of him meeting Elon Musk, then there's the photos of him meeting Donald Trump himself,
Elon?
Then there's the photos of his family meeting Trump too. I'd also like to point out that McGregor is probably the only person alive that has thrown his arm around both Trump and Putin. Anyways, the last bit of media that came out from his day in Washington was this clip of Conor glazing Trump's work ethic.
Congratulations, sir. I tell you what, your work ethic is inspiring. Your work rate is inspiring.
And hey, all of this is all well and good. I really don't have any issues with Conor meeting Trump. Obviously, it's bizarre seeing him make political speeches instead of his regular coke-fueled BKFC yelling sessions, but I find this whole circus act to be insanely fun to watch. But the thing is, does anybody else seem to remember Conor ripping into Trump not even a year ago? For those of you who don't remember, last summer Trump had this to say when asked who his favorite UFC fighter was.
Like your favorite fighters.
Well, I think Khabib, I mean, how good is Khabib? Do you know who Khabib is?
Of course I know who Khabib is.
Khabib was 29, 28-0, and then his father died and he stopped. But I think he never lost. I don't think he ever lost a round.
First of all, pretty shocking answer out of Trump to name a Muslim Russian guy as his favorite fighter instead of any of the American fighters that were literally speaking out for him while he was campaigning, but I kind of respect it. Someone who didn't take too kindly to this answer, however, was none other than Conor McGregor, because once that clip started to spread around the internet, he took to Twitter to throw one of his famous temper tantrums. In his first tweet, he says that Trump's response was a career-ending decision, like, okay, it's not even that serious. And then, of course, because it's Conor, he calls Khabib a smelly fat mountain monkey, but the idea of a presidential campaign being completely upended because a guy said that Khabib is their favorite UFC fighter is crazy cope out of the guy, and it's hilarious how irrationally offended McGregor got from this meaningless answer. Then he responded to his own tweet and started making fun of Trump's net worth, and I understand that Khabib humiliated him, and I'm sure that drugs were involved when he made these tweets, but even still, going on such a manic tangent over something as small as this is just ridiculous. For as big of a head that he's got both literally and figuratively, when it comes to Khabib, Conor's a mental midget. Regardless, it seems like he was able to move past all this so that he can start cozying up to Trump, which leads me to to my next point, I'm pretty sure that this guy is going to run for president of Ireland. I mean, he's literally already tweeted that he's going to campaign for the position, but this little press tour to the White House really feels like him making tangible steps towards a full-blown campaign. In fact, I don't think it's all that crazy to say that he is already in the midst of running for president. With all this being said, can you imagine if Conor actually wins the presidential election? You might be saying that it would be impossible for him to win, but I don't know, man. I feel like crazier things happen all the time. His first presidential decree would be immediately invading Dagestan, and he'd label Habib as public enemy number 1. The guy would roll up to press events with Proper 12 in one hand and Forged Irish Stout in the other, and he'd probably surround himself with a bunch of yes men that are too afraid to be honest with him. Oh wait, he's already done that. Yeah, man, I don't know. All this shit is crazy to me. What I do know though is that the likelihood of Conor stepping into a cage or a ring for a professional fight ever again is pretty damn close to zero. As a matter of fact, I think the chance of him getting elected president is higher than him fighting again. And with him getting more involved with politics on top of co-owning BKFC, every day that passes, it just seems more apparent that his fighting career is already in the rearview mirror. Seriously, if you go to his Twitter page right now, you're not going to see a single fight-related post where he expresses any desire to return to competing. Almost all of his recent tweets in the last few weeks are about politics, and then the rest are promoting his other business ventures. And don't get me wrong, I don't have an issue with a guy who's about to turn 37 years old set his sights on new goals, but I also feel like he should just announce his retirement already and stop lying to himself. And even though the idea of him becoming a career politician is pretty ridiculous, it is Conor McGregor that we're talking about. And I'm just saying, we've seen firsthand what he can accomplish when he's fully locked into achieving a goal, so I'm not going to be all that surprised if he ends up making waves in the world of Irish politics. Anyways, that's the video for today. Definitely let me know what you think about Conor's day at the White House. Was this an elaborate publicity stunt, or do you think that this was his first step towards becoming president of Ireland? As always, if you like the video, then like the video, and if you haven't subscribed,
shout out to ITP MMA Live, dude. That was pretty insane. Conor giving press conference, coked out of his mind at the White House. Look at him blinking the lips. That man is drugged out of his mind at the White House, at the podium, saying he thinks Ireland needs an exemption on tariffs. He's saying all kinds of shit. He's giving that whole speech, though, about immigration and 40 million Irish Americans not having a home to come home to, not having an Ireland to come home to. It's pretty weird language to put out there. As I was saying, this is not my GOAT. All right. He's officially, he's not on my Mount Rushmore at MMA. He's got to go. I had Rhonda up there on my Mount Rushmore as well, but she's making it look so bad. I might have to put Valentina up there. But Conor, I don't know, man. This guy, he's a disgrace to himself at this point. I try not to pay attention to too much politics, honestly. And I had muted Conor, and then all this started popping up. And I was like, Jesus, I'm seeing too much of things that I've been trying not to see. But I was like, let me cover this. And Jesus, I did not know this man was impromptu press conference at the White House on C-SPAN. This is crazy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about Conor. What do you think about what he said about the immigration and now it's filled with minorities? And let me know if I'm wrong, all right? But head on over to ITP MMA, give them a like, leave them a comment, let them know I sent you. And thank you guys for being here once again, and I will see you guys soon.
I'm more Francis Ngannou. I be the biggest problem out of any nigga I know. A little old school like some 45 vinyls. You niggas old dudes, what that do to the wino? I do it the commercial way, pay without the splits.